Hello, everyone. I wasn't planning to do this video this week, but it just came up basically overnight, and it feels like an important one. And this video is about beauty in warriorship beyond aggression. And why is this so important? I was talking with another member of our tribe late yesterday, in one of my 15-minute calls that I've been doing with everyone to hear what's on your mind. And she was sharing with me how she's really uncomfortable with the term warrior. And she's not the first person to have brought this up. There have been people from time to time commenting under the video saying, couldn't you choose a better word than warrior? It's not a very Buddhist term. Um, of course, this is not a Buddhist channel. This is a spirit of light, um, multicultural, multi-spiritual, loving heart channel. But in any case, the word warrior, it has been meaning to some, like the only context that you've ever heard it in is in war, where, men and women are going out and killing people for somebody's agenda. And this does not sit right with you. And it wouldn't sit right, I don't think, with anyone that would be part of the Warrior of Peace community. I cannot imagine a single person being drawn to this community who is in favor of war and the tactics of war. So when I talk about a warrior of peace, it really has nothing to do with waging war on some other country or some other group of people. That's not what it is about at all. It has to do with connecting and developing an inner strength. It really is connected with the warrior archetype. And so I've got my hair up today, showing off my undershave. And I've said in previous videos that for me, this undershave, it connects me. It symbolizes my warriorship. It symbolizes, for me, it helps me to connect with my sense of courage. I love my feminine hair. I love having it down. I love that it happens to be curly hair. I love the softness of having my hair down. And I also equally value the strong part of myself, the part that is fierce in the face of violence and fierce in the face of people saying, awful things to others or even to me. On the YouTube channel, there are some people who drift in and they say, very degrading, very angry things to me. Not many, but there are the few. And so I appreciate that I have developed my warriorship. And so I specifically, I'm trying to open up this possibility of experiencing the word warrior in a different way. And I'm wanting to specifically tune into the beauty, the element of beauty in a warrior of peace. So if you think about, a warrior of war, um, you know, they can be harsh, they can be ugly. I know that many of you, you are married to veterans of war, and you have seen the awful things that they've gone through and the PTSD that they've returned home with, and that they and your family have to deal with, have to, either find ways of healing or just find ways of coping with. So, there is such a destructive element to traditional war. And I'm even just gonna just mention, Judith Herman, who is wrote the seminal text on trauma healing, calling healing from trauma. She looked at two different groups in her research: battered wives, women who were abused by their husbands in their homes, and and war veterans, because that's the other really big group of people who have PTSD. And she shared that story that I have shared once before, and I'll share it again, of the soldier who had been, well, it was a Marine, so on a boat, and had been on a Marine boat, a naval boat in frigid waters, and the boat, I'm not sure if it hit an iceberg or what, but the boat, it sunk. And so there was a limited number of life rafts on the boat. And so the Army protocol was that all of the ranking officers would go into the lifeboats, and all of the ordinary Marine officers had to go into the frigid waters. And so they were freezing, they were dying. Helicopters came in to rescue them. And because of the military protocol, the ranking officers were rescued first. So these ranking officers were safe in the lifeboats, and they were rescued first while more and more men in the waters were dying. And so this was very traumatizing to this man because he had been in the water. He had had friends that died because of this following of the military protocol. And it was traumatizing. I mean, it was a traumatizing the death, but also traumatizing because of this system, this hierarchical system, which basically you just turn your brain off and you follow their rules. And in this context, it didn't make any sense at all. And so that was traumatizing to be part of this system where people just acted like machines. It was traumatizing. And so I like bringing that story in again because it really speaks to what is so harmful and destructive about traditional, conventional militaries. And so I really understand why people are against war. I'm against war as well. And so why am I choosing to use the word warrior? Because you can be a warrior in your life. You can be a warrior in your community, and you can be a warrior that is acting not out of aggression, but out of fierce love, out of um, bringing peace. I don't want to say protecting the peace because I like better the words of bringing peace, because you have to transform something that's going on in order to bring in peace. It's not about we need to get out our pencil and our eraser and erase the aggression and erase, the war so that we then have a blank page that's peace. Like that's really not what peace is. Um, Bringing peace, being a warrior of peace who brings peace, it's about skillfully working with the energies of aggression that are going on outside of you and transforming them so that it can liberate feelings of love and joy and unity where people are coming together in order to be able to create, better lives for everyone, being able to enjoy life, being able to enjoy nature. So it really is about bringing that peace, about doing that transformation. And for us to transform aggression outside of us, we first need to learn how to transform the aggression within us. And so that's why I'm always talking so much about you need to work on yourself. You need to heal your trauma. You need to be able to unravel patterns within you that are limiting you, where you maybe walled yourself off from a part of life in order to protect yourself because of something that happened. You need to learn how to be able to realize you're safe now. That was a different time. And to be able to dismantle those walls so that you have more of a range of connection with yourself and also with the world around you without all those walls. So it really takes a lot of work on ourselves in order to open our capacity to be able to take our seat and to manifest as a warrior of peace in the world. And honestly, by doing your own healing work, by doing your own self-love work, by really liberating what is most beautiful and profound about your humanity, that is an act of beauty, and it makes you a more beautiful person. the more that you take off all those layers of stuff that really aren't you, the more you take that off, the more your beauty is able to shine through and you become a beautiful person. So here I am sitting before you, going through my whole journey right now. My warriorship journey right now is I've moved into a new apartment building in April. Well, new to me, not new to itself, and being told that it was a non-smoking building, and then learning that there's a lot of people in this building smoking, and learning that the management, the landlord, is not following the legislation. Like, this is not allowed. He has said that he has grandfathered the smokers in, but that's not allowed under our provincial legislation. And so I have had to really, I mean, this has been an amazing, epic experience of connecting more deeply and developing my own bravery and courage in the face of this mountain of, so many people just said to me, you should just move. The doctor that I went to see to get a doctor's note said, you should move. And he wrote me a doctor's note that actually suggested that. The main guy whose smoke comes into my apartment through my bedroom window, he also got fed up with me asking to stop smoking. And he said, you should just move. So I've had, I've had to face this profound experience of my home being invaded by carcinogenic smoke, the landlord not doing his duty, not doing anything about it, and me having to find my way through this. And that has included reaching out to the tenancy board and learning about the Residential Tenancies Act and learning that what's happening here is against the legislation, and following through in that process of applying for a tenancy board hearing where I am calling the landlord to come in. And the hearing is on August the 13th. I am in the process of preparing my presentation because this is a very rich story of what has happened here. And so I am, this is part of my developing elegance in my warriorship, is preparing a heart-centered and concrete and explicit presentation with evidence to back up everything that I'm saying, and presenting it in a way that I'm hoping will connect with the heart of the adjudicator, as well as perhaps even with the landlord. Like, that would be an amazing extra bonus if this could reach his heart to realize how much pain and suffering I have gone through as a result of him ignoring this problem for 3 months. So this is a way that I'm sharing my story because this is part of me developing even deeper warriorship. I am not coming from a place of hate. I'm not coming from a place of wanting to cause discomfort or harm to this neighbor downstairs who's the main source of smoke. I do not, I am not angry with him. And as well, I am not trying to hurt the landlord. I am very committed to having as much of a just result as possible. I do want justice, but I am not trying to I'm not coming from a place of aggression here. I'm coming from a powerful place as a warrior of peace, of bringing justice to a situation that not only affects me, there are families with children, with babies, who are all being exposed to smoke in a building that it actually should have no smokers living in it at this time, legally. So I'm bringing justice to this mountain of a problem, and it not only helps me, it's helping these families, it's helping these kids, which means a lot to me because there are really sweet kids in this building. And so for me, warriorship is about being protective. It is about being fierce, and being a warrior piece. It is about operating beyond aggression And I would suggest that there is a beauty in that. And I hope that you can even hear it in my tone of voice. I hope that you can experience it in my presence here with you. There is something beautiful about being a warrior of peace. And this world would not be complete without warriors of peace. Because if there were not warriors of peace, then a lot of bad stuff would just keep going. It would just keep going on. And so we can address that from a very mature place, for lack of a better word, even professional and direct way. We can address it in a strong way of not backing down and not feeling like we need to take care of everybody's feelings and be super nice, but in a strong way. We can be asserting, limits. We can be asserting what is right in a situation. And that is an important role for some of us to play as warriors of peace. And so I think this is all that I have to say about it. And I would really like to know if any of this resonates for you. I would like to know if you, if any of this resonates for your personal approach to life and how you're developing yourself. I would also like to know if you have always been like, no to war. Has this at all like lifted the gate to other possibilities around what a warrior could be? Or do you still feel the same way? And, am I just talking through my non-existent hat? So I would love to hear your thoughts. And also, if you know of other situations where people are developing this kind of approach to peace, please do share them as well. Because, it's wonderful to hear um, different ways that people are bringing an enlightened approach to bringing peace into the world. So I'll also just mention that I am offering a very powerful training in a couple of weeks called Create Your Bubble of Peace. And that is because I believe for us to be strong activists and, strong parents and strong community members in this world, we need to be able to have a sense of peace around us. We need to be able to feel that we can operate from a space that we've created that is of peace. And then it's so much easier to bringing peace into the world around us rather than just being in that defensive mode of feeling invaded and feeling attacked by, the aggression that's out there. It's so important for us to develop the skills of creating our own bubble of peace. And I have to say, this is going to be a very powerful training. And so if you can join me, that would be great. There also will be a replay available for everybody that can't make the live program. So that's it for the beauty and warriorship beyond aggression. And I look forward to seeing you again soon.